Let me ask you a question and answer it honestly. When you basically sit down and you wanted to write a blog post or video script or even typing out a caption, how you guys decide what this is about?
Now, be real with yourself. Most of us honestly just guess. We think people are probably wondering about this, so write this. Maybe it's about rates. Maybe people are looking at, the market numbers. But if you look at the harder question, now we look at the harder question. After you hit publish, did anybody actually even search for that question? And if did Google show that post, or Facebook or Instagram or anything? Did they show that post to anybody at all? Because most agents don't check. Most people don't check.
Exactly. Basically, we write it into the dark, we cross our fingers that everything goes through, and we move on. And me and my wife, we started real estate, we did it the same way. And we always reacting or flat out guessing about what you're writing, what is the video script is about, what is that blog post should look like. And we did a revenue.
And then also when we were looking for leads, besides looking for leads online or trying to figure it our way, we were also doing all the things that their agents do. We were buying leads from Realtor.com. We bought the zip codes. We tried Zillow for 6 months. Awful experience. We wouldn't do that again. But by that whole time, we were contenting ourselves to do that. We needed to make sure our brand and our work was actually working. And we didn't want to just throw darts in the dark and hope one of them stuck. No, that's not what we were trying to do. So here's what we're going to talk about, and the real thing, and how Claude Code makes it even more amazing than when we started.
Exactly. Therefore, we are going to give you the real things, not just the surface vision. First, we wanted to talk about two parts. The part one is a piece of a code that actually we built in and hands us the exact thing to write every morning before even waking up, without any guessing.
And part two, most agents flat out miss, is how that same code also talks to Google, and how AI engines work to actually get that page trusted once it is written, which is amazing. But most of the job is getting the machines to believe us with our authority, right? So let's start with a quick word that everybody kind of heard and we kind of all went, and we ignored, because the answer is SEO.
Exactly. That's the whole game, basically how the buyers, how the sellers, they find you, and they are not just scrolling on the Google or on the AI, they just come directly to you. And we said they are gonna find you directly from the Google or the AI recommending it to you.
Now, so Google gives you a dashboard, and you can go into the free dashboard and find out what every question is people have searched, how many people saw your, how many people asked that question, how many people actually clicked on that question, where you ranked. And this is all absolutely free, and it's where you rank, and then basically most people open it maybe once a month. But here's what our Claude does every morning now for me. It actually is checking everything for me, so I'm not checking, because now it's deciding for me what markers are there. So every morning I come down with 6 decisions I have to make it at 5 o'clock in the morning. And basically it's all, I love automation. I'm all about automation, especially with things like this, but the code is just having this, and I have to make a quick decision after it makes it. So we'll talk about decision one.
Exactly. Decision is pulling down all the yesterday's search data and split your opportunities in 2 piles. What are those 2 piles?
One pile is what all the national sites are doing once you've actually done your search. And Zillow, Redfin, Giant, all the giants, they're sitting in this field. And the code puts those to the side because those are going to be the bigger ones to climb, the bigger mountains. But what we can do to climb that mountain is do the smaller one first. So that's the other pile. Want to tell me what the other pile we're doing?
Exactly. The other pile is the searches where another local real estate agent, somebody with a website like yours, in the market like yours, is ranking, and you are not ranking at that point. And what is the second pile?
The second pile is the one you're fighting for first. It's the one you can win, because that is a fight that actually can happen, and your SEO is really your big game. So decision 2, again, my code gave me all of this information. I didn't actually search it out. And actually, I don't even look at most of it because it's already automated. So decision 2, this is no human catches it all by hand. We have to remember this. That's why Claude is looking for pages that rank, sitting on the first 2 pages, but nobody's clicking as well. So we have to think about what people are clicking and what aren't people clicking. So Code can actually look at that too. So it can tell you what if your content's good enough for Google to show it to people. So it's not a content problem anymore. It's not a headline problem anymore. It's not that your title is boring. It's not that people are scrolling. The code is doing what is it's deciding the page, and it's not writing anything new. It's not rewriting the headlines unless you want it to. It's not starting to click you can earn. So it's not letting things fall away. So tell me about decision 3.
Exactly. The decision tree that is super important finds the searches where you are close. Bottom of page 1, top of the page 2, right on the edge, and then it tells you straight, one strong post here, and you are on the page 1. That's what we're trying to do.
Now, decision 4 is something you do kind of have to do every so often with your coding, but basically you want to make sure that not everything is, you want to throw out all the junk. Not every search is going to land is going to worth your time. Is somebody searching for that, or is it completely unrelated? And this is real. I put the same name in a totally different state has nothing to do with our buyers. This happens to us all the time. Exactly. So because there's another city with our name that we live in, so I can tell you that things happen in a different state, and they'll sometimes give me places in a different state, and now we know that that's not where I am. So code is filtering out all the wrong information that I don't need to know, because that's the noise that's going to show there, and it's really not going to help me in my opportunities.
Exactly. At this point, we're going to reach to decision number 5. It builds on what you already have instead of competing with yourself. And if you have already got a page ranking of something, the code won't tell you to write the second page that fights the first one that already you wrote. And it tells you to write something fresh and basically points back to the page that you have got, and you're stacking your string at this point in one place instead of splitting it in 2.
And the last thing I have code doing with these decisions is it remembers information that you already gave. That's what I love about it. So from day to day, the list and the opportunity is changing, but instead of handing you the same idea over and over again, you're getting a rotation, you're getting all of this. So before you even wake up in the morning, before you've poured your coffee, there is zero guessing. You've said your prayers in the morning, and now it's done. There's a list. This is what we're going to talk about if you just want the list. I go beyond just a list, but this is basically you wake up and here everything is already done for you. It's basically it's basically really easy. You saw my video on Chrome, how I make social media. This is how the decision process makes before I even wake up. So my social media is actually all done in the other video, as I already told you.
Exactly. And those are the exact calls a sharp SEO person would make for you, which is super important, except this made them, as my wife says, all overnight on his own and every single day. You heard it correctly, every single day.
Now, let's talk about what to write. Here's the part that I was not doing before I had code, and now I'm amazing at knowing nothing, but I know how to click a button. But here's the part that we really need to talk about, schema. And it's not about scheming to get ahead. That's not what this is. This is about having a scheme that the computers know. So you've probably seen that word. You probably have no idea what that word even means, because I certainly didn't.
We didn't know it either.
Right, so I'm not lying. But however, it is basically structured data for computers to talk to computers. This sounds like a thing for programming, and it's very, very simple.
And basically, you probably seen it, that word, and scroll right past it, as my wife said. And a schema is basically, we can say it, is a hidden label on your web page written in the format that, as my wife said, machine can read it instead of the human. And here is the problem that it solved. What is that?
So you're looking at a nice listing, and you have to understand that's the price, the address, the open house, and things are the photos. The robot, the Google bots are not reading the way your eyes do. It's not reading chronologically. It's crawling through the code that's on that page. So it's not half guessing about what the price is, what the phone number is. That's just decoration. Schema stops the guessing altogether. If you give schema, you give programming terms. Now it's telling Google, this is exactly what this page is about. Clean page. It's like a little index card saying in machine terms what it is. So this is the home for sale. This is the price. It is this many bedrooms and bath in this town. There are photos, open house date and time. So it's now giving Google this data in the data that Google wants.
Exactly. Therefore, at this point, Google is not guessing anymore, and you told them exactly what is the page is about. And here's what you care in dollars. 2 things happen when your page has the label. What is those two things?
First, Google can actually show your information on that page with very rich results. The fancy version, the photos, the price, the little star, the stars, the frequently asked questions, the search bar, instead of just plain blue ink. And be honest about your answer too. So when you're clicking on the photos and the price is showing, not the bare ink in 3 spots. Schema is how you win all of that with one photo.
Exactly. And this, you already talked about
the second one, no.
The second one is a part that is brand new, and most of the real estate agent completely sleep on it. And AI agent runs on that same label data. For example, what happens
when your buyer opens whatever AI they're using, ChatGPT, Google, Grok, Cloud, which I love, or ask this, even if they're Googling and the AI answers at the very top of the page, there's always a voice assistant saying, who's good agent in my area, who's answering this question for you, what's the name for sale, and then the AI is deciding what to name, who to name now. Now, in these pages, you have to have clearly labeled facts, because that is really how you're getting it there. And Google basically has 3 ways they're deciding that. One is the classic Google search, the voice and answer box, and your AI chat box, and that schema that I talked to you about. That machine learning. The page is learning about what the AI would quietly skip.
Exactly. Therefore, you don't see that because that is the hidden label. The machine just talked to the machine, and that's how you put yourself out there. And here's the catch. This is exactly why this is code conversion and convert and not a chatbot conversion. And a schema is written in a fuzzy bracket heavy format, and where one wrong character silently breaks the whole thing. That is the danger about it. And
but now you are not worried about that anymore, because you are having Cloud Code write your schema. So It's going over your webpage, writing schema for you, and it's going to actually help you with your SEO this way. And if you're filming video, you're also answering people's questions. And if those things are on your website, that's even more amazing, because now there's schema on top of all of that. So no agent is going to handwrite everything on any page. Absolutely not. The chatbot is not going to be able to talk to everybody all in the same way. But if you're giving that information and Google is seeing that, now it can actually recommend you. And that's where people fall apart. You pay fancy thousands of dollars for someone to do this, and you can literally just ask Cloud to help you put schema onto your website. And this is basically what we need. Everything has to be there. You're at the finish line. You're doing the YouTube videos. You have a website. Well, how is it actually being found? So you have to look at the SEO and really make sure everything is cohesive together. And that is really why I love Cloud Code, why I'm always talking to it, and it's not just a chat bot. We're not talking to ChatGPT anymore. That's so last year. We're vibe coding our way to success, and I know that sounds weird, but it's all about the vibes, whatever you think of. Now, if you want to win the SEO game, is something you really, really want, it's not as hard as it once was. We don't need to hire all those people who inbox us all the time about how they can fix your SEO. Absolutely not. That's sales scams. But we now have